ready.
Just relax and enjoy the ride.
In crowd, 815, in crowd, 815, in crowd, 815, in crowd, 815.
Oh, hey, good morning. You know, I got to tell you, where's Tom? Tom, there's Tom. Tom, I got to tell you something. There's absolutely nothing that says that you can't hire a clown to perform just for you. I'm Greg. He's Tom. This is your In-Crowd 815 podcast for the, what is this, 22nd day of February of the year 2025, the latest it has ever been, my friend.
In the history of mankind. Oh, and I'll throw this out there. You can hire a trivia guy to do trivia just for you.
Just for you. That's exactly. Like I said, Tom, you can hire a clown to perform just for you.
You can. There's quite a few of them out there that are willing to come to your house and creep out your kids and your neighbors and everybody else and build little inappropriate balloons, you know. What is it about clowns? They've gotten such a bad rap over the last
well, they're scary. They're
weird and scary. And I do know some clowns that do a remarkable job. My sister's good friend. She's actually a good friend of mine as well. Her name's Penny. She is a really good clown. Just a sweetheart. Just a good, fun-loving sweetheart. I think girl clowns probably are better than guy clowns. Ever since the whole Gacy thing.
Oh, yeah.
Not to be morbid, but
you know our karaoke queen doubles as a clown. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah,
Tracy?
She is Miss Twisty Pants. And
Miss
she
Twisty
makes
Pants.
great
Okay.
she makes great balloon animals and balloon art. She's amazing at it.
Probably not inappropriate.
No. She's a lot of fun and she's great for the kids' parties. I know in the past she's been out at the home show. I don't know if she's there this year, but you know, this weekend is the big Rockford home show down at Sports Score, Sports Score 2. Yeah. The Indoor Sports Center.
1 second. Shameless plug.
Check. Yes. This is the weekend for the big
Yes.
Rockford home show, and there's a lot going on there this weekend. So if you get a chance, stop by and say hi to some of our wonderful folks, like our friends from Mactown Construction. They've been a big supporter of the show here in Crowd 815, and they'll have a big booth there along with a bunch of other things. If you're looking to do some stuff for your home this year, the Big Rockford Home Show is a great place to start because you're going to meet a lot of our local excellent vendors right there in one place.
So let me back up just a little bit. I don't want to leave anything out there. Miss Twisty Pants is a super, super lady. I met her. She's a really nice lady, and I'm sure she's a wonderful clown. I'm just saying clowns have gotten a bad rap. But people like Miss Twisty Pants, she keeps it going. And my friend Penny, she keeps it going. They're wonderful people. I just am not a big fan of clowns because of a lot of the negative stuff that has happened.
That's
over
right.
the years.
That's right.
That's all I'm saying. No disrespect.
Let's not be hiding behind that mask to do nefarious things. We got a good show for you, and the person still sleeping next to you are our new friends from Inscape Collective. We're going to talk with Ruth here in just a minute, but before we get to Ruth, let's take care of this. We need to start a new race to 10. I was dominant last race. This is all luck. This is all completely luck, by the way, in case anyone's judging us for the first time. Our race to 10 is a big number of the week. And this week's big number of the week is 31,000. And the answer is money or meta. Money or meta. And I'm going to zero out our scores and start at 0 again. We're not really playing for anything either, so we haven't figured that part out. But
all right. I sent it, and it actually said sent, and it actually shows that it got to you.
All right. So put your guess in the comments what you think our big number of the week is about this week. Is it money or is it meta? And if you do a Google search, or you have AI help you find the answer this week, I think this is one of the ones that should be easier to find than most, because this
All right, fine. Hang on.
This
Let me
story,
resubmit.
this
No, I'm
story, I
kidding.
think is fresh enough. I think it's within the last week. And if you do a search for that number, you probably will find the story that talks about one of these two things. So good luck. And we'll tell you at the end of the show what the answer is. Lots going on. We'll get to some shout outs later, but before we do anything else, let's bring on our guest. One quick reminder: In Crowd 815 does meet this week. We do have our monthly meeting this week, and we're going to be at Tadmore Tailoring, which is over on North Mulford Road at the corner of Mulford and State, Mulford Village Drive, behind the Portillos. That's probably the easiest place to find, right? If you know where Portillos is on East State Street.
Yeah.
Behind the Portillos in the Mulford Village Mall back there, Tadmore Tailoring is hosting us this Thursday night, 5:30 to 7:30. Appetizers, refreshments, some swag bags, raffle, and one of our own awesome Rockfordians, Serene El Sharif, who owns Tadmore Tailoring. She did a TED Talk, and I believe she's going to kind of summarize that for us a little bit at this event. And bring your business cards and a smile. That's your admission to get into In Crowd 815 for the last Thursday of the month. Our guest today is a part of something called Inscape Collective, and the Inscape Collective has a lot of interesting things going on. Ruth is on with us. Good morning to you, Ruth. Can you hear us, Ruth?
She may be
coming
muted
now.
or something.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully your Wi-Fi is strong enough that we can.
Greg, I can't hear you. You're coming in and out.
Oh no. How about you, Tom? Can she hear you?
Hello?
Yeah. Hi, Ruth. Can you hear me? You can't hear me either? No?
No, it's like
There we go.
static.
Yep. Your picture got a little fuzzy there at the moment there too. So
Okay.
I bet the Wi-Fi in your house is going a little bit goofy. So hopefully it stays strong.
Okay, good. That's better. I can hear you now.
Looks and sounds better now.
All
So
right, I'm a little fuzzy in the morning anyway.
well, before we get to all things Inscape Collective, please tell us a little bit about yourself. Ruth, where did you grow up and go to school, and what kind of work did you do?
I grew up mostly around here. I went to school at Harlem.
You're a Harlem Husky.
Yes, a Husky.
All right. My wife teaches at Harlem. Go Huskies.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's a good school system. And I'm a semi-retired psychologist and naturopathic doctor, and now I'm involved in Inscape.
Okay. So you had your practice here in Rockford for your
Yes.
career?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So what kind of patients did you see in your practice? What was your main focus?
My main focus was usually women working with emotional issues, and then I got an ND degree to help with physical issues because I realized that a lot of emotional issues have sometimes physical components, and
Sure.
so that's
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, that sounds very inspirational. I bet you got some, not to mention any names or anything out there, but I bet you have some
right.
inspirational stories out there in your past
Yes, right.
of women that received your help and bettered their lives.
Sure. And women are wonderful. They're very strong and they make change. So it's great.
Absolutely. Our world is nothing without the women in our world. So what led you then to be involved with Inscape Collective? What brought you to this organization?
Well, I was wanting to be part of a project that embraced all different cultures and different ethnic population. And it's kind of a long story how I got into it, but
We got
That's
time.
what we're here for. We can put it in a nutshell. That's the
basically, two friends and I purchased this building on 7th Street and what used to be the Just Goods free trade store. We decided that we would have a store similar to that, only we would expand and use the community room for programs. And And I was excited about working with all different populations and working with artists and musicians. And so it's been really wonderful. Met a lot of wonderful, talented people, and we have 40 artists that supply our store. We have pottery, jewelry, clothing, paintings, and we're open Saturdays 11 to 4, and we have wonderful, unique gifts for, people that you are looking for gifts for. And so it's been exciting to work and meet all these artists, and then to work with the musicians. We have at least 2 concerts a week in our community room. We have an open mic where we have a full house of people reading poetry, singing, speaking their concerns. We have ecstatic dance, we have drumming, we have sound baths, um, we have local musicians that play a couple times a month. We have the Dorothy Page Turner Readers Theater that meets there. So we have a variety of programs that you can go on our website to check out what's available. And most of our programs are free, just with
Okay.
donations. And we have refreshments, and it's a good time.
Does does the term coffee house apply? Is that kind of like a coffee
Well,
house?
in a way, it is. We serve refreshments, we serve coffee and wine, and it's not set up exactly like a coffee house. It's more of a concert venue. Right.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't mean coffee in terms of like
Oh,
serving
okay.
coffee. I meant like the old school coffee house where you would all go on a Saturday night and just hang
Right.
out and something along those lines. This sounds like a
Yeah,
blast. It really
that's
does.
particularly our open mic. People come and hang out and speak their mind, and we have other community programs like tonight. We have Mothers Against Gun Violence meeting at our place, and we have David Stocker and Kristen Lems providing music. And again, we're providing refreshments in an open venue for people. And tomorrow night, we have Jim Roberts doing a sound bath, sound medicine. If you ever experienced that, it's quite wonderful. He plays Tibetan gongs and crystal bowls, and it kind of goes all the way through your body. Very
Yeah.
healing.
That's, I I get the strange looks from people sometimes when I talk about what sound therapy can do to you, because it's,
Oh, it's wonderful,
I
right?
I think we forget the fact that everything that is made, everything that we see and feel and touch is made of molecules and atoms, and all of those things
Right.
make noise. They all vibrate.
Absolutely.
So
And it's,
if
Hmm.
yeah,
there's something to be said about being in tune with someone else or something else. It's a real
right.
thing.
And it's all energy, right?
If it's the same David Stocker, I'm sure it is, the
Yes,
Moondog, right?
right.
I met David, oh gosh, 20 years ago in
Uh-huh.
radio. We had interviewed him. Wonderful musician. Oh, goodness gracious. So you were in for a treat if
Yeah,
you go see
he's
David.
very
He is a nice guy. He was signing CDs out at, I want to say, like Best Buy
uh-huh.
or maybe a bookstore or something like that. I remember that. So we went out and saw him out there, and just a
Yeah,
genuine guy, really, really good guy. So you're
right.
definitely in for a treat if you go see him.
So the store is open from 11 to 4 today.
Yes.
Today it says 11 to 5. I'm
Yeah,
assuming
we're
because of the
open
special
later
night.
today because of the program tonight.
Yeah, 7 to 9 tonight program.
Right.
Again, 201 7th Street, downtown Rockford, there in the Midtown District.
And
And
we have wonderful parking out back. We have a big
yeah,
parking back. So,
it's a suggested $10 free will donation. Grateful for whatever amount you're able to give. They will have some refreshments there tonight too.
mhm.
And seating is limited. You got room for what, maybe 50 to 70 people, maybe?
Yeah, 50 comfortably. I
50
guess.
comfortably, maybe 60 or 70 standing room
Yeah,
only.
right.
But it's a really nice space, and the acoustics in that room are really well for, especially for acoustic instruments, isn't it?
They are. And the musicians love playing in that room because they talk about how the acoustics are so great.
Well, this is a unique night tonight. If you're looking for some entertainment and some interesting stuff to shop for, you got someone to
Hmm.
buy a gift for or something like that. It's a really interesting shop. Um, uh,
We
the
have a wonderful program coming up March 29th that I want to mention. Is we're doing a fundraiser that's a 50s party. So Trinidor is going to play 50s music. We'll have dancing, we'll have games, we'll have food from the 50s. We're going to decorate the place like the 50s. And we're selling tickets for this. You can go on the website or our Facebook page to get tickets, but it'll be a really fun evening.
Trinidora, they have quite the following, don't they?
Oh,
They
they do,
play all
right,
over the area. So that's coming up the last Saturday of March, 6 to 9
true,
p.m.
right.
And yeah, get tickets for that. We've got the link to the web page in our
Oh,
chat,
great. Thank you.
and we've got this page up here now on the screen, so you can see where this is coming from, the um, Inscape Collective page. We'll go back to the main page here. If someone did want to volunteer with Inscape, is there some opportunities for people to plug into what you do there?
Oh, we really do need more volunteers because we need volunteers when we have programs. And we also offer workshops in the community room, workshops on health and finance and art. And we're always needing volunteers. And our volunteers have a lot of fun, particularly for the musical programs. So just contact us at our website or our email or give a call, and we'd love to have you help out and help
Awesome.
out in the store, which is also fun and interesting.
So the link that we have in our chat here is going to take you to
Yes,
their page. You can scroll down and see some things about how to volunteer. Uh, if you
perfect.
if you have stuff to sell, they got space for you there that you can
Right.
arrange that with
Yes, if
them as well.
artists want to display, you can also send a picture of what you do, and we would add you to our store. Oh, the other thing I want to mention is we have a little free pantry out behind our store where we put food for the neighborhood, and it's being used on a regular basis because
Okay.
our neighborhood is somewhat disadvantaged. So we ask people when they come to concerts or programs if they could bring some canned goods or some food to put in the pantry. That would be wonderful.
Okay. Okay. I see on your website here too that Inscape Collective is now a project under the umbrella of JHOOLE. How does that pronounced?
Oh, Julie, that's
Julie.
a group of entrepreneurial women from India that make clothing that we have in the store, and makes they we have silk scarves that are recycled saris. We have a leisure wear that they make and send to us that we sell. And so we support this group of women in India that make these clothing.
Nice. Nice. They're very beautiful too. There's a lot of very
Yes,
beautiful, interesting things in the store.
right.
So
Okay.
awesome. And then our Inscape Collective current members include, of course, Ruth here and Barbara and Linda, Nancy and Marianne.
And we actually
Um,
have more members than that. Our website is not quite up to date.
time for some updating there.
Yes,
If
right.
somebody wishes to become a member, is there a process to do that?
Just contact basically one of our members or contact me,
Okay.
and we just give you a brief training on a Saturday. It's pretty easy to be a volunteer for
Okay.
us.
So
Are there any? Are there? I'm sorry, Greg. I just wanted to get this in before I forget. Are there any programs for? And I may have missed it. I apologize. For kids, or is it mostly just kind of adult themed
Oh,
stuff?
that's a good question.
Like if I brought my
We've
grandkids.
actually had a couple of programs for children, and we're going to do more, particularly art programs, where
Oh,
Nice.
my grandson
right.
loves art.
And we've opened up another room that's in our building that we hope to hang children's art. And we did have a Saturday where we had children that read their short stories and read their poetry, and we have a couple of books in our store that have been written by children. So we're trying to do more with that population.
Good deal.
Very nice.
Good
Very nice.
question.
And if kids came down, is there a not that it's about money? I mean, is there a reduced price, or is it always just a donation? Or are there times when it's like $12 for adults, $8 for kids, or something
It's
like that?
usually a donation, except our party fundraiser, we're selling tickets. If
Right,
we
right.
do an actual teaching art program, we usually have like a small fee, like around $10, $15 per person, basically to pay for the materials and supplies. And we have a couple of
Oh, absolutely.
really wonderful artists that have given some art programs in our community room. And we've had sip and sip and paint projects where people come and sip wine and paint. Pic- right? Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
fun.
I thought you were saying they were
No, no,
sipping paint.
don't sip the
that,
paint.
that
No,
won't work.
Only put the wine in the glass and the paint on the palette.
that's right.
Do
That's
not
right.
mix the two. Do
We
not
Okay.
mix
don't
the
do that
two.
one with kids, but we do have programs.
Yeah,
Right.
right. Although it is a great way to calm them down. I'm kidding, kidding, kidding.
Well, if somebody wants to volunteer or contribute to the store, or put some of their homemade items in the store, your artwork and such, reach out to Inscape Collective. See if you can set that up. The next event, of course, there is something tonight,
Right.
and that should be good. The next ticketed event is March 29th with
And we
Trinatora.
have an open mic on March 14th where everyone is welcome. Everyone gets at least 5 minutes to read their piece or sing their song, and we have a wonderful variety. We have people from 17 to 87 that come and show up and share their talents.
Nice. Nice. Good deal. Well, all right. I'm going to put the link to your Facebook page in the chat as
Thank
well
you.
right now. So that makes it really easy to get
Great.
to, to that. Is there anything we did not ask you about that you wanted to make sure that we talk about before we do a little trivia with Tom?
I think we've basically covered what's coming up and what's happening. We'll try to keep our website updated so people can go on and see what our next events are. We're going to have at the um, fundraiser, the 50s party, we're also going to do a silent auction where we make these wonderful baskets with gifts and so forth in it. And we'll, be playing games. We'll have a 50-50. We'll have a hula hoop contest. So it'll be so
Uh, well, it looks like the Facebook page is probably the best place to start.
right.
Looks like the most updated what's going on here with Inscape
Good
Collective.
idea. Yes.
So start there, and then if you want to volunteer information and such, go to the website and check out more there. So
Great.
this looks great. All right. Well, before we let you go, we do want to try a little bit of Tom's trivia. All right, Tom, challenge us with some trivia this week. What do you got for us? Now
All
it's
right.
Tom's turn to
Well, that
stutter.
picture you can have, man. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah. I don't know what happened. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
There you go. Yep.
All right. All
Yes.
right. All right.
We're back.
All right. We're back. All right. Hang on. Hang on. I got stuff loading into my computer and I don't know why. Okay. You know what? Let
Oh,
me
I
just
have a.
say. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh,
You have a
is
question?
this podcast available that I can see it after we're finished?
We're gonna once everything is done off the show here, we upload it to Spotify. So I'm gonna send you.
Oh,
I'll send you the Spotify link so
oh,
you can
great.
share it all over the place.
Oh, yeah, I love Spotify.
But
Good.
Spotify is not visual, right? That's only audio.
Oh,
It's both, but it's easier. What I love about Spotify is you can be listening to it and just shut the screen off on your phone and keep listening. You know,
That's true.
you can't
That's
do
true.
that with YouTube unless you have like a certain type of subscription to YouTube. You've got to keep watching it, otherwise it'll go off.
Right. Yeah, and you shut your phone off and then it's bye-bye.
Yeah,
But you can also, yeah, you can get it on YouTube as well if you want to watch it. So,
oh,
yeah.
okay. So
yeah,
what
'cause
do
that's
I?
sometimes how I'll do it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Let me just, I got to vent for 1 second.
Uh-oh.
Microsoft drives me nuts.
I know
That
what you mean.
blank crazy because
Uh,
I have these things on the bottom of my screen that I can't get rid of on my
Mm,
taskbar. It's like news, and it just all of a sudden populates on there. And I'm in the middle of trivia, and all of a sudden my screen is taken up with I don't know, MSN or something like that that I didn't authorize. I don't want it on there, but I have no choice. It just populates, and that's what it just did a second ago. Maybe that's
Okay.
why I was choppy. Anyway, all right, you ready, Miss Ruth, Dr. Ruth? Dr. Ruth, that's funny.
Dr. Ruth.
Dr. Ruth,
Sorry, Dr.
different
Ruth.
kind of doctor,
Okay.
probably.
All right. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Probably not the first time you've ever been referred to as that. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hope you like movies. It's a fairly easy one if you've seen the movie. Name this movie. In what movie did we hear this quote? So you're saying there's a chance. Greg, don't answer if you know it. Let Ruth answer it. Once
I
again.
I have no clue.
Okay, all right.
I'm pretty
So
sure that was
you're
Jim
saying
Carrey.
there's a chance. It was Jim Carrey playing the
Jim
part of.
Was it Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Well,
So
I didn't see that movie, so
Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels play a couple of shall we say derelicts?
Yeah, one is dumb and the other is dumber.
oh, okay. No, I didn't watch that movie.
All right.
Yeah.
So Team Gruth gets a point. I've dubbed you Team Gruth. Greg and Ruth. Gruth.
Ruth.
All right.
Thankfully for Greg.
No, you're a team. You're a
All right,
team.
we got
That's
this.
right, because maybe you got the next one. Who knows? All right, here we
I
go.
do know the
Question
movie
number.
about the clowns that gets everybody scared. That was it.
It? Oh yeah. What was it? What was the name of it?
It.
Who's on first? No, I know it was it, but what was the name of it? No, I'm just kidding. All right, here
Oh,
we
that
go.
was Pennywise.
Pennywise. There you go.
Do I
Pennywise.
get a point for that?
Yeah,
Give a
you get a
point for
point.
that.
You get a point. I'll throw in a free stuffed animal. How's that sound? He's my little co-host today. Well,
Oh,
he's our
sweet.
third co-host. Anyway,
Nice.
and in case he's sick, then I got this little guy here.
Oh, nice.
You may know if you look back there, you can see I have a lot of animals.
Fancy scarf or sweater on that one.
I know that's my Christmas bear. I can't bear to put him away for Christmas. All right, here we go. Here we go. Since last night I did a baby trivia thing, I thought these would be kind of nice. They're all multiple guess. These two are. So, according to USA Today, in 2024, just this last year, what was the most popular boy's name for a baby? I'm going to give you four options:
Ooh.
Liam, Noah, Oliver, Zach.
I think it was Oliver.
All right, I'll ask it one more time. According to USA Today, in 2024, what was the most popular boy's name for a baby? Liam, Noah, Oliver, and Zach. You say Oliver? Greg, what do you say?
Zach's been incredibly popular. I know Noah was the top name for a long time,
Right. Noah was.
but I think it's Liam. Oliver or Liam.
I guessed
Right in the
Oliver
middle.
because I have a cat named Oliver.
We'll stick with Oliver. Yeah. What do we got?
You should stick with Noah.
Oh, it was still
your,
Noah.
your son is going to be upset with you. It's still
Well,
Noah.
when we named our son Noah 24 years ago,
Man,
it
you're
was
old.
that name was really gaining in popularity, and then the years following, it just became a top 5 name every year. You know, there's a
Mhm.
lot of Noahs out there.
There are quite a few Noahs. My son's name is Matt, and I call him Matthew. And he's 32. So back in the day, in fact, our softball team, our church softball team, we had 5 Matts on the team. So everybody
I
had a nickname.
I have a cat named Oliver, and I named him Oliver Twist because he showed up looking for food, begging for food.
Oh my goodness!
Man,
More 9 lives, please. More Friskies,
Yeah.
please. That's funny. Okay, now here we go. You can't have one without the other, right?
all right.
According to USA Today in 2024, what was the most popular girl's name for a baby? Remember, 2024, last year, what was the most popular name? Was it Amelia, Emma, Olivia, or Riley?
Ooh.
Once again,
Those are all
Amelia,
very popular names.
Right.
Emma, yep, Olivia, or Riley.
I'm going to guess Emma. That's
Yeah, I think Emma's a good choice. A lot of Emmas out there.
right.
Yeah, I'm
Come
going to
on.
guess Olivia.
It's Olivia.
Olivia.
Olivia, Oliver. There was our Oliver right there, Olivia.
Yes. That was kind of interesting
Oops.
there.
All right.
All right. That
Mhm.
one's done. There we go. Question number 4. Geography. All right, here we go. Regarding population, which Florida city is the largest? Is it Jacksonville or Miami?
Probably
Once
Miami.
again,
I don't know.
regarding
Yeah.
population, which
What do
Florida
you think,
city is
Greg?
the largest? Jacksonville or
Well,
Miami?
I would say Miami too. Jacksonville's spread out a whole lot bigger in square miles and such, but I think Miami being the city that it is, I would think Miami.
So Jacksonville has 850,000 people.
Ooh.
Miami has 430,000.
Wow.
Really?
What makes Miami so big is South Beach and everything else around it.
Uh-huh.
The aggregate area still isn't even as big as Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Actually, the aggregate area it comes close. Jacksonville is the largest city in the United States in terms of geography, in terms of size.
Good. I knew it was big. Yeah.
Oh.
It is huge.
Well, I
It is
learned
huge.
something this morning.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Gaining knowledge.
All right. Question number 5. All righty. If you've ever been involved in the 4-H club, what are the 4 H's of the 4-H club? Now, a lot of moving parts on this one. Yeah, I'm sorry. Today's quiz is a little tough. I'm so sorry.
Herbs, honor, happiness,
Herbs.
and
Help.
holly. Hope is hope one of them?
Or helping?
No. I'm so sorry. Now I'm feeling bad.
This is a tough one today.
All right. First one, head. Second one, heart. Third one,
hand,
and the fourth one is health.
health.
Yeah.
Head, heart, hands, and health.
Hands and health.
Head, heart, hands, and health.
There's your
All
4
right.
clover for the 4-H club.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Buddy.
Hi, buddy.
I'm looking over a 4-leaf clover that I overlooked before. All right. We're going to get banned from YouTube on that one, aren't we? All right, here we go. Expressions. Fill in the blank. A stitch in time saves
9.
9.
Yes, you got it. Now, funny story. We got a team that plays, and God bless them. They are so sweet. They're a bunch of 20-somethings. Some of them are teachers, and one kid works in IT. They're good friends of mine. They looked at me like I had 7 heads, and they said, because I said, this is going to be a pretty easy one for you guys. And they looked and said, not if you're a 20-something. So they got that one wrong. I kind of felt bad. But you know what? The thing is, when you've got a team of 6 or 7 or whatever, someone's always going to know it. And in this case, this team of 2 knew
Well,
it. So,
do you have a 3-point bonus question for us so we can at least finish above 50%?
all right, we'll make this one a 3-pointer.
All right, here we go, Ruth. Here's
We'll
our
make
last
this one.
chance. Oh,
All right.
we lost Ruth. The cat must have
Uh-oh.
shut her off. There. All right, go ahead. Oh, there you are. Did Buddy turn you off? That was
It was Oliver. Oliver stepped on your computer, right?
No, actually, that was Lucky.
Lucky's not
Well-
so lucky.
All right, our last
Here we go.
question.
Children's movies. In the movie franchise The Grinch, what is the name of Grinch's dog?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, look at that cat. Oh my God. Is that Buddy? Or I mean, is that Lucky? Or is that
That's
Oliver?
Lucky. I named him Lucky because he showed up here and got fed and then ended up inside. So.
Oh my God. We had a very similar story. We had a cat who was pregnant and she had one baby. And that baby, she had her outside on the stoop. And it was warm. So, and I'm like, oh my God, what is that? It was this little blob. I picked it up and put it in a little towel. We brought it in and then we found the mama. And the mama was our cat. We knew she was pregnant. Well, we weren't sure. We thought she was. Anyway, we named him Lucky because he was lucky to be alive. But anyway, once again, in the movie franchise The Grinch, what is the name of Grinch's dog?
I don't remember.
Wasn't it some goofy, just a guy name like Felix or Jeff or something like that? It was.
Well, it did end with an X. I'll tell you that.
Oh man, is it just Rex?
Oh, you are getting closer. You're getting warmer.
You're getting warm.
You were at 10 degrees. Now you're up to 14 degrees.
Oh man. Come on, Veda. What is the name of the dog? You should know this. Your dog. My dog's not helping me here. She's
Ralph.
What's your dog's name?
My dog's name is Veda.
Oh, nice.
She's the queen of the
I have
castle.
3 dogs: Elsie, Knox, and Honey.
Max. It was Max.
Max is correct. Thank you, Google.
Oh,
no, I'm
good.
kidding. I'm kidding.
There we go. There we go.
Hey, Max, can you get me your dog food bowl? I'm kind of hungry. I'm
All right,
I'm
Ruth.
really hungry.
You have guests to attend to, so I know we need to let you go.
Well,
Appreciate
this has been fun.
Thank you so much for coming on with us today,
Yes.
and we wish you all the best with the Inscape
right,
Collective and what you're doing downtown.
And very
And
informative. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and keep on having fun.
You got it.
Oh,
You got it.
absolutely.
Have a
That's
great
our
day,
middle
Ruth.
name. Fun.
Thanks. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, very nicely done. Very nicely done. In Inscape Collective, I learned about Inscape Collective when our next Rockford group met at their open space there a few weeks ago. Was it last month? We had our meeting, our monthly meeting there for Next Rockford, and got to see the store and the space. And I had been in the space before. I know I had been in there to see someone perform once before, but it was a long time ago and I didn't really understand what it was. And now that I've got this little brochure telling me what Inscape Collective is all about, I'm like, oh, okay, we need to have them on the podcast.
Very interesting.
So,
which brings
thanks
me
to
to
Ruth for
my
coming
next
on.
question.
Yes, sir.
It brings me to my next question. Who has more jobs, Ryan Seacrest or Greg Saunders?
Or Tom Warner.
Well, I suppose we're both a couple of busy guys, aren't we?
There's a few more things to promote this week for sure. This weekend, I already talked about the Big Rockford Home Show, but this weekend is also the unveiling of the brand new Camp Grant exhibit at Midway Village Museum. And they're doing free open houses today and tomorrow. So
nice.
if
Very
you wish to
interesting.
see Midway Village Museum and the brand new Camp Grant exhibit, they are open today, I believe, from 10 to 4, and tomorrow from noon to 4. and they're very proud to show off what's going on at Camp Grant. And the Weisensell family actually had that restaurant. What was it called? The Grant. Oh, I forget what the name of the restaurant was called. It morphed into a museum, and they had been collecting Camp Grant artifacts for years and years and years and years. Basically, all that stuff now is in possession in the property of Midway Village Museum. So kudos to the Weisensell family for collecting that for years and years and holding on to it and
Well,
cherishing it.
well, I'm curious. I know just about every restaurant from here to California because I've eaten in all of them. Uh, where was this restaurant and how long ago? Do you know?
It was near the airport. I'm almost positive it was right around airport. It might have even been on Falcon Drive.
Okay, all right. It's
Um,
an out of the way location. I know there was the Sky Room. That's not what you're talking about, right?
I wish I didn't take the note as to where this came
No,
from.
that's okay. That's all right. Very interesting. You know what? You know what? I'm going to have to go and find out for myself. We'll
Yes,
do that.
yes. I
That
know the grandmother was in the news story this week as they unveiled. They did a ribbon cutting, I believe, on Thursday. And the grandmother, the matriarch of the family that collected this stuff for years and years was at that and was prominent in the story. But why I can't remember the name of the restaurant now is bummer. Um, but the Midway Village, let's see if this will come up here. New Camp Grant exhibit open to the public, free open house today and tomorrow. And yeah, this is pretty cool. They always have this really cool stuff at Midway Village Museum. There's so much to see there. And thankfully the weather's going to be nice this weekend. It's not going to be below 0.
yeah.
Snowy, terrible stuff, or wind chills and
Yeah, we're up to a blistering 15 degrees.
oh, and it feels so good, doesn't it?
It kind of does. How sad is that?
It
You know
feels
you live in the Midwest when you go out and it's 15 degrees and you're like, "Oh, this isn't bad at all." The only reason I
um,
wore pants last night is because I was doing a trivia gig, but I'd have been wearing shorts.
of course.
I was
The
in shorts the other night when it was below 0.
that's well, that's you,
Go
man.
ahead and
That's not
say it.
me.
No, go
That's
ahead
not
and say
me.
it. It was stupid.
It's
Go ahead and say it. I won't be offended.
if you can tolerate it, man, good on you. I mean, it's like doing a cold plunge. It's probably good for you. It's
Ooh,
reduces
I'll never do
inflammation.
that.
A couple more quick shout outs. I got to talk with our longtime acquaintance, and I would call him a friend, former Congressman Don Manzullo. We had a conversation about a week or so ago about an event that he was planning at Rockford University, and asked me to help him set up some stuff and put up a LinkedIn event. This Wednesday is February 26th, and in Regents Hall in the Burpee building there at Rockford University, they're having a free, open to the public, nonpartisan town hall meeting. And the town hall meeting is being called America's Hidden Constitutional Crisis. He says hidden because most people know nothing about the movement under Article 5 of the Constitution by the states for a new constitutional convention. Have you heard a little bit about the constitutional convention that's been being?
No, and I don't want one.
Well, here's the thing. It's been being pushed now for probably 15 to 20 years, and it's finally happening. Uh,
Oh,
apparently about 27, you need 2/3 of the states, I believe, to sign on to make it happen. And I believe 27 states are now signed on to make this happen. And the main speaker at this event will be retired Senator Russ Feingold from Wisconsin.
okay.
He wrote a book. Called "The Constitution in Jeopardy: An Unprecedented Effort to Rewrite Our Fundamental Law," and he's going to be talking about that this Wednesday night, 7 p.m. at Rockford University. Again, it's free, open to the public. It's a nonpartisan town hall meeting, as you probably know. Former Congressman Don Manzullo, retired Illinois Republican congressman, Russ Feingold, a retired former Democrat senator, and there's a handful of other panelists that will be speaking on this topic. This is this is one of the few things I think that Don and I disagreed on, and apparently you and I disagree on it as well. Because I am of the belief now that it is time for term limits. And
Mm.
I think,
Oh no, I didn't. I don't disagree with that.
yeah, well, Don was for it at first, and then he wasn't. He changed his mind, and he
That's what
has his
lost him
reasons.
his election.
And maybe that
Because
partially was,
no, it was because I worked in radio pretty much the entire time. I remember when he first got elected, and then when he was going for his fifth re-election, whatever would have been
Mhm.
his 12th year, 11th and 12th years in Congress. The It came out that, wait a minute, you said you were going to have
Yeah,
self term
self-imposed term
limits or
limits.
whatever,
Yeah,
and you didn't. And then he had something like, well, right now what we're doing in Congress, if I leave now, a lot of that is, and I understood what he was saying,
right.
but it was just one of those things. He was kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. I love Don Manzullo. I think he's a wonderful man. He is a wonderful, met him many times at the station. A wonderful man, did a great job for us in the, I think, 35th congressional district. I think it was 35th, right? 34th,
I
yeah, whatever it is.
34th, I
Anyway, he's just a terrific guy, and God bless him for this. I hope, but I do believe in term limits, and I'll explain why real quickly here. You look at somebody like a Senator Ted Kennedy. Okay, years ago, Ted Kennedy was great for Massachusetts because he brought home the bacon every single year. He was always getting Nancy Pelosi. They love her in California. All of these senators, congressmen, congresswomen, they are loved, beloved by their constituents in their areas. Well, what does that do for Illinois when Ted Kennedy is getting all of his stuff there? I want Ted Kennedy out. I want Nancy Pelosi out. I want this person out. And it's not just Democrat or Republican. I want Mitch McConnell out. But I can't do
yeah,
anything about it because I'm in Illinois. They're
exactly.
in Kentucky, California, Massachusetts, Washington. I can't do anything about it. So my vote doesn't count when it comes to the Senate. My vote only counts for Tammy Duckworth and Dick Durbin. And so, and we're such a blue state that even if I wanted them out, I couldn't really get them out. But that's okay. That's all right. State by
Right.
state is good. But that's why I now believe in term limits, because I
Right.
think you get too ingrained and you're in there for 30, 40 years and you're not doing anybody any good. All you're doing
No.
is for your little neck of the woods, your little area. You are a U.S. senator, not a Massachusetts senator, not a California senator, not an Illinois senator. You are a U.S. senator. So your job is to make it good for the entire United States. And I don't have a say so in it. So therefore, let's do term limits. So I'm definitely for term limits now.
Well, Don did it the right way. If you, he wrote this great book, by the way, "Do Nice Guys Run for Congress?" And of course, when he became a congressman and started getting involved in the bureaucracy of Washington D.C., he was appointed to different uh, uh, great places to be as far as leadership. Um, uh, Shoot, what's it called? uh, different areas of Congress. And of course, when he started seeing the good he could
Committees or
do,
something.
yeah, committees. He was, leading different committees. So I understand why his mindset as far as, hey, now that I've been here for 6 years and I'm on this great committee, I can actually make a more difference than I could before. Um, there, I, the thing is, we've seen now, especially in the last few weeks, just how much bureaucracy and waste there is in our government, and Congress people let that happen. They shouldn't have let it happen, and they let it happen. So we need to have, in my opinion, term limits to keep people. If you're a really great congressman and you serve, for 8 years, if you serve 4 terms or whatever, if you're that good of a congressman, then you should be able to run for Senate and probably win too. So become a senator for 1 or 2 terms. And if you're a really, really great senator and you are a senator for 2 terms for 12 years, then you probably should be running for president, or the governor of the state that you came from.
The only change I would propose, again, term limits, absolutely. 2 terms for senators, 12 years.
Yeah.
And I would increase, and I don't know the logistics of this. I don't know you could even do that you could even do it. 2 terms for congressmen, but make them 4-year terms, because it seems like you're perpetually campaigning. How do you
Yeah.
get anything done if every year you're now, it's the year has passed, now we're campaigning again. And now the year has passed, we're campaigning again. It's like every other year you're campaigning. And
And
so
that's
I would
yeah.
say increase it to 4 years, and then you have 2 terms. So you get 8 years as a congressman, you get 12 years as a senator. That would be the change I would propose, and I don't even know how it would work or if it would work.
It'll be interesting to hear what Senator Feingold has to say and how he postures himself at this town hall meeting. Again, it's Wednesday night,
Yeah.
7 o'clock at Regents Hall in the Burpee Building, and should be a really interesting. If you can't make it, there is a link to the. Let me see here if I can share. I'm going to copy the link info, put that in the chat now. This is for the live info, and then I'm also going to put a link to the YouTube stream. If you can't make it there in person, you can watch it live on the Rockford University YouTube stream and check out what they have to say. I'll be very interested to see what Senator Feingold has to say and these panelists, because I'm sure within an hour and a half or 2 hours, it's going to be a bit of a interesting debate as to why or why not this constitutional convention, excuse me, should or should not take place. I understand the fear. I understand the fear in the idea that this has never happened before. So what's the precedent? There's no precedent set. What could possibly happen at a constitutional convention could turn catastrophic if it's mishandled. And I get that. But
Do
I
you
don't,
trust government to handle it properly? No.
and that's where I think it's time that this needs to be given a try. All 27 amendments to our current constitution have all been done through Congress, and this would be the first time a constitutional convention of the states takes place. And I think it's time. I know there's a lot of fear mongering going on as far as people saying, "Oh, if they do this, they're going to let the president have 3 or 4 terms or unlimited terms like before." I don't see that happening. I think we learned our lesson with Roosevelt and the 4 terms that we got stuck with.
Well, but see, I almost disagree with that. Roosevelt, I thought, was a pretty good president. And I thought he won
Until he
4
wasn't.
terms until he was not really healthy. But what did he do at
Exactly.
the end that really, I mean, well, we had one just before Trump that was not healthy for the
Exactly.
entire 4 years. And yeah, that's fine. So obviously Biden wouldn't have gotten 4 terms. He couldn't even make it through. He couldn't even make it to a second term. But it's not about that anyway. Biden was Biden, but the problem wasn't Biden. The problem was the people who elected him, the people who um, uh, who allowed it to go on for so long.
Oh yeah.
We all know that Joe Biden wasn't really pulling the strings. Someone
And
else was.
nobody's fessing up to who was.
No,
Who
nobody
was
is.
actually
Nobody
running it.
is. And why would they? So I don't think we need a constitutional convention. I think we simply need to stick to the Constitution that we already have. Because
Yeah.
what the founding fathers did, they did it with a heart, they did it with a soul, with a conscience. They did it God led. God breathed, and this is why when you look at the Constitution God is in, or that God's not actually in the Constitution in terms of God, but all of the ideas, the 10 command or the Bill of Rights, first 10
Bill of
amendments,
Rights.
they are all biblically based. Don't kill anybody. Don't steal. Honor mom and dad. All of these different things that are, if we follow them, and you don't have to be a crazy, wild, pew jumping Christian to understand all of this or to be part of it. You just simply have to have a certain amount of respect for your fellow man, a certain amount of reverence for God, and even if you're not a spiritual person, maybe just have that reverence for life itself
Right.
and your fellow man. So it's not difficult, in my opinion. Again, these are just my opinions. This is not,
Well,
um,
I think the way that I sum it up, the nutshell that I put it in basically is this: we have created a situation where if you can become elected as a congressperson, once you get reelected once, you're pretty much locked in. Your name recognition in your district becomes
Yeah.
such that it's almost impossible to lose unless you do something completely stupid. And even then, sometimes they still win. And my assertion is the laws that you create as a congressperson, you should know in your head as the congressperson that you will have to live under those laws because you will be leaving office in 4 years or in 8 years. You will be living under the laws you create. And right now we have a huge number, and I think what is it, 70 or 80% of the Congress people get reelected every time.
Yeah.
They don't have to live under the laws that they create because they keep staying in office and have all the immunity possibly that they could
Well,
possibly want.
this is how Nancy Pelosi is worth
Exactly.
$275 million on a
Exactly.
$140,000 a year job or whatever. Numbers are off a little bit,
It's
but you get the
crazy.
idea. It's because of the insider trading. And when
Yeah.
she says, "I don't know what you're talking about," yeah, you do, Nancy. Yeah, you do.
Yes, you do. Yes,
Don't
you
lie to
do.
us. Don't
Well,
lie
this
to
should
us.
be an interesting event. It's this Wednesday night at Rockford University. It's absolutely free, and again, it's a nonpartisan thing. It's going to be a nice open discussion of the what a constitutional convention of the states, which has never happened before, could possibly look like, and it should be a very very interesting thing.
All right.
So,
So one final thing on this. I don't know if it's final. I could do this for another hour, but and if you want to talk a little sports, let me know. I'm good with it. But one final thing. Here's the only thing against term limits. And by the way, it's not nearly enough to change my mind. I still believe we should have them. But one of the things about it is that if you have term limits and you know you got 1 year left, now it's lame duck time. Now I can
who's
do
that?
whatever I want. I can go ahead and I don't care about the next few years because I'm not going to be in Congress anymore. Now I can pass the bill I wanted. Now I can do this. Now I can hire this person. Now I can get, $2
But
million
you
dollars for
you
my.
know you're going to be living under the laws you create because you're going to be back out into the public again. That's my main point of the whole thing is a lot of these Congress people, especially,
Well,
almost don't have to live under the laws that they create because they stay in
this
Congress their entire lives.
this is true, but a lot of it's not about laws created. A lot of it is about we're going to bring this factory to town. I
Yeah.
bought stock in that company. Now it's coming to town, so now I will be living under the
Oh,
stock now. So
the
there's that.
the
There are so
cross
many different
pollinating
nuances.
of bureaucrats and lobbyists and everything. It's such a mess, and it's
Yeah.
getting, at least a part of it is getting exposed now, which is a
Okay.
good
So
thing.
so
Daylight,
here's something. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
well, daylight's the best disinfectant. So putting it all out to the light, it's make it
You are
transparent.
exactly right about that. I want to bring one more point up. This is what I heard the other day. We've heard all this stuff about Doge. First and foremost, I don't care if Elon Musk was elected or not. He doesn't need to be elected because none of the cabinet is elected. They're appointed.
Right.
Yes. So that falls on deaf ears.
That's a moot argument. Yeah.
It's a completely moot argument. You were going to hire in the Biden administration. You were going to hire 87,000 IRS agents to find out that, oh, you, Greg Saunders, you owe $800 for that DJ gig you did. Tom Warner, you owe $1,300 for that trivia that you did 4 weeks ago. The last six or 8 weeks or 10 weeks or whatever. I
Mhm.
don't make that kind of money, but anyway, the math was off. Um, and they were going to do that, and then they were going to arm them, which made no sense to me. We're going to give them all guns, really? 87,000? Do the math on that. That's like one for every 100 people. No, I don't know. I don't know what the math is. Do the math and write it in the box. So here's what the problem is: the money has been spent just frivolously
Mhm.
with Doge, Department of Government uh,
And
expediency. No,
efficiency.
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 Good word, efficient. They have found so far. They found billions with a B,
With a B.
billions of dollars, and they're finding that there's $4.5 trillion that they cannot find.
It's
Okay, put that one off to the side for just a second. Here's what I heard the other day, and this made so much sense. How much money are you, Greg Saunders, going to make in your lifetime? Are you going to make $1 million? Maybe.
Just a few $1 trillion. That's all.
We wish, huh? Are you going to make $1 million? Let's just say you make $1 million. Okay, now 250,000 of that is going to go to your home. Another 300,000 going to go for food and education, whatever. And the money goes. We don't
Yeah.
end up millionaires, but we might make $1 million. Now, for you to make $1 million, your dad to make $1 million, your grandfather, all of that. Do you know how many generations it takes to accumulate $50 million? With one swipe of the pen, and look at that, I even have a pen in my hand. With one swipe of the pen, we gave $50 million to Gaza for condoms. Put that in perspective. How long it takes to make $50 million. You would have to take your mom's side, your dad's side, and go back 25 years for each to accumulate $50 million. And
That's
with
pretty
one
crazy.
swipe of the pen, and I'm not just talking 50 million for Gaza for condoms, and the numbers are all over the place because you hear different things from different people. But what I'm saying is there has been so much government waste. 1.2 million here, 1.8 million here for dumb stuff. They had in Syria, they had $1.2 million to put on a trans play. A trans play. How does that affect the United States, other than the fact that you and I had to pay partially for it? So all I'm saying is think about it, folks. I don't care
Well,
what side you're on. Think about it. It's not the government's money to go ahead and give away to all of these different programs. And what Elon Musk is doing is he is basically saying, no, no, no. We are not going to spend 5 million for this, 2 million for that, because pretty soon $1 million here, $1 million there, you're talking real money.
we're talking real money, and the other big rock in this thing is the fact that journalism's been dead for decades now. We just didn't know it, and we're finding out how many of these quote unquote media sources were actually funded by the government. So you know that their opinion pieces were skewed to favor
Yes.
government programs. And the Politico and of course NPR and a bunch of these other what we thought might have been nonpartisan journalistic endeavors were not
Mhm.
at all.
No,
And
no,
we need real
exactly.
journalism again. We need real journalism.
And one other thing I saw on the Social Security thing, I saw this on one of my scrolls the other day, and it showed how many people were still collecting Social Security.
Oh,
Do you know that there's somebody 200 years old still collecting Social Security?
over 200 years old,
There
supposedly.
were it topped out at they went all the way up to 100, and there were
Yeah.
like 67,458 people.
Well, there were
And
millions.
again, huh?
There were millions.
There were millions because after that,
Over the
you were
age of
into the millions.
129, there were still millions of people collecting
That's
Social
right. So you
Security
saw
checks.
the same thing I did.
I
This
did.
is madness.
It's
This is
crazy.
madness. So if you want to get on Elon Musk, go ahead. Maybe you don't like him. Maybe you want to pick on him for naming his kid X. Well, so what?
So what?
I can tell you several baby names that I shook my head and went, what? Are you kidding me? Seriously? X is pretty cool. I have a friend
Yeah.
whose son's name is Xavier. They call him X. So anyway, ooh, can you hear the dogs?
Your dogs are getting excited. You must have Amazon
Yeah.
delivering at your house.
Yeah, I stole their food. That's what I did. I took their food
Max.
out of their bowl. Max.
Max
Anyway,
is
so
outside.
so if you want to know about government oversight, you want to know about government waste, government there were the words waste, misappropriation. There were three words that fell under that, and this is exactly what's happening. So if you want to be against all of that, God bless you. I hope that works out for you. But right now, what we're going to do is we're going to save trillions of dollars that has just been wastefully spent, and that is what government is supposed to do. So
We'll see how this all plays out here in the next few weeks. And yeah, because
and yeah,
here's the thing too. Elon has other stuff he wants to do. This isn't what he wants to do for his life. This isn't his life goal. He wants to go to
no,
Mars. He wants to
he
go to
wants.
Mars.
And by the way, he's not making a penny. He
As
does not.
yeah,
Donald Trump doesn't even take a penny.
this will
He
all be
takes
done by
no
summer.
money. He takes no. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. He
They're gonna
takes
be
no.
done auditing all these institutions because they've got their technology that is going through
Yeah,
it.
and they keep complaining about these teenage kids. Well,
Yeah.
guess what? Teenage kids lose their life in war defending your country.
19, 20, 21, 22-year-olds led the American Revolution. So it's,
It's
yeah,
absolutely. And
it's
one other
okay.
thing too, when a teenage kid creates something like let's say Facebook, we applaud Mark Zuckerberg. Wow, what a great guy. Wow, this kid he wasn't a teenager, he was probably 21, 22, something like that. He was at Harvard. And we're applauding that. So why aren't we applauding these other kids? We're calling them names, we're calling them snot nose and brats and spoon fed whatever. I don't remember some of the names they've been called, but
Well,
no, these are brilliant kids that know what they're doing, and they're
yeah.
finding this stuff that should have been found by our congressmen and Senate. So
Someone should have been calling this stuff out. So I'm going into this open-minded. I want to hear what the former senator has to say. I'm sure Russ Feingold has done some interesting research, and if you write a book, you got some
yeah,
research behind it. So
yeah, you don't get it published unless it's your story checks out. By the way, when is this? I may want to join you.
it's Wednesday night, 7
Yep,
p.m.
can't do it. So much for that.
When it's all done, I'm sure it'll still stay on the Rockford University YouTube channel. So if you don't watch the live stream, when it's all done, hopefully it'll be saved on the Rockford University YouTube channel, and you'll be able to
Okay,
watch it later on. So
I'd be very very interested in this because
I'm
I was
very
around when. Yeah,
very
I
open
was.
to the idea of what's going to happen with this. So I
Yeah,
want to see what he has to say. Let me take a real quick peek here with the other people. Professor Ron Lee is the chair of the Poli-Sci Sociology Criminal Justice Studies at Rockville University. He'll be on the panel. Professor Evan Bernick of NIU Law. He clerked for J. Diane Sykes, the 7th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, former executive director of Georgetown Center for the Constitution. Dean Joseph Kearney of Marquette Law. He clerked for U.S. Supreme Court Justice Scalia. Professor Carolyn Shapiro from Chicago Kent Law School was a Solicitor General, and J. Richard Posner from the 7th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. He worked for Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer. So an amazing panel, and it's going to be interesting to see how they all, flesh
yeah,
all this out on Wednesday night.
a lot of judiciary in there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good. That's good.
constitutional knowledge all over the place. So
Oh, absolutely.
that's this
And
Wednesday night.
yeah, and one final thought I just want to say to all of our Democrat friends, liberal friends, we love everybody. It's just like when we talk Bear Packer football. I try to make it a point to say, look, I don't hate on your Bears. I just love my Packers. We both do. We can have an open discussion. I hope so. And we invite, if you want to make comments in there disagreeing, that's fine. That's what it's all
You
about.
do
Please don't take offense to anything we
no,
say. It's my
you do
opinion. It's
realize
Greg's opinion.
these people that just got confirmed in the last week and a half,
Uh-huh.
they were all Democrats. R,
Oh,
R,
absolutely.
RFK
Tulsi
Jr.,
Gabbard,
Tulsi Gabbard,
RFK, Cash Patel,
even Trump himself was a
even
long
Trump
time
himself.
Democrat.
Oh, and guess what? Elon Musk, he voted for Joe Biden last time around, 2020. He voted for Joe Biden. But I think what's happened is there's been this kind of a metamorphosis, if you
It's been a
will.
revelation. Oh my
It
gosh.
has been. It has
The
been.
party I
It's
thought
like,
was isn't
whoa,
anymore.
wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. We need a strong leader. A guy gets shot in the ear. I mean, he's 1 centimeter. He's maybe a
Mm.
half an inch away from getting his brain splattered out on national TV. And he gets up and goes, fight, 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 with blood on his face. That right there might have been the turning point where a lot of people said, oh my God, this guy is a stud. This guy is a leader. We need a leader. Whether you like him or not, whether you disagree with him or not, he's a leader. He's a leader of men. He is a
He's very
leader.
nonpartisan. He never wanted to be a Republican.
I don't think so. I
he
think
never
so, but
wanted to be a Republican.
I think he's fairly socially liberal.
He was
But he's
smart enough to
definitely
realize the independent track didn't work in America. Ross
right.
Perot tried it.
Yeah.
Well, what's his face? Oh shoot, what was the other billionaire that tried it in the independent?
Well, Malcolm Forbes did years ago, but I don't think he was an independent.
Ross
Um,
Perot, and there was one other guy that I can't think of his name right now in the 90s that was making a
the
run in the
90s.
independent thing.
Pat Buchanan?
I don't remember, but anyway, all that to say you needed the party, and that's the only reason why he even jumped in the Republican Party, is because that was the
And it
only
was
way to do it.
interesting. And it was interesting because in that debate with Hillary Clinton, when she said, "I sure hope you're not in charge," well, if I was, you'd be in jail. And to his credit, he never pursued that. He never did, and he never made the promise. He never made a promise that he was going to put her in jail, but he could have.
He could
Because
have.
what she did with Benghazi, with whitewashing or power washing or whatever it was, etching the serial numbers off of destroying 30,000 documents, she could have and should have been in jail. That's fine. And there are a lot of Republicans that probably could have been as well. So it
Yeah.
works both ways. But Hillary Clinton
We don't need
was
to turn
not.
this into a civil war that actually involves guns. The civil war that's happening right now is a war of ideas. If we can keep it ideas and words, that'll be good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
hopefully journalism comes back, because we need transparency. We need someone actually chasing the stories and finding the facts, regardless of where it leads them. And that's again one of my pet peeves about our current state of affairs. We need more real journalism. All right, switching gears here real quick. There's a few more things I want to plug before we wrap things up and give our big
All
number of
righty.
the week. Did I give the big number of the week yet? No, I
You
didn't.
gave the big number, and I sent you my thing. It's
We
already
didn't
on your.
guess it yet. Coming up March 15th, a Saturday night at Memorial Hall, we have Tinker's Ball at Memorial Hall. Attend a Civil War themed evening ball with Tinker Swiss Cottage Museum at Veterans Memorial Hall, a night of elegance and history. Transport back to the Civil War area. Formal and themed attire is recommended to match the occasion, not enforced, but it's recommended. Tickets
So
for
no
this are,
jeans and a t-shirt, right?
we prefer not. Yeah, the tickets are only $15 for this event. The evening of Saturday, March 15th, 6 p.m., right there on Main Street, kitty corner from Coronado Theater. For refreshments provided by the Sons of Union Veterans and Mary Logan Tent Auxiliary. There's going to be a special dance callers, Mr. and Mrs. Gary and Karen Alexander of the Historical Timekeepers. And thanks to the Veterans Memorial Hall for sponsoring and supporting this event on March 15th in support of Tinker Swiss Cottage Museum. And of course, April 17th is our next big masked karaoke trivia contest. We're back at Hilton Garden Inn of Rockford on April 17th, this time with 12 teams competing for a $2,000 grand prize for their chosen not-for-profit. And we do still have openings for you. So if you're looking to support a not-for-profit, get a team together. 8 people, up to 8 people can be on your team. My recommendation, Tom, and again, you can do this any way you want, but my recommendation is you want 6 or 7 extremely strong trivia type players on your team and 1 or 2 good singers, because you will have someone on your team. You can do a duet, you can do a trio, you can do the whole team if you want to, but at least one person on your team will have to sing a karaoke song at some point during the competition to have any hope of winning the whole competition. So
Well, yeah,
we had a
exactly.
blast last time. We had so much fun back in October, and we're making it bigger and better this time. And this is something we have a goal to turn into a really, really big major event here in Rockford. So come on out and see what all the excitement's about. April 17th. In order to be a part of this, you will need to be invited by one of the teams. The last event in October, we did sell tickets. This one, we're not selling tickets. So the teams that sign up for this event this time, they're getting 16 seats at the event. So when they sign up, they're getting their team of up to 8 at their contest table, and then audience seats 8 as well. So they're getting a total of 16 seats at the event when they sign up their team. 8 of those are on the team that are playing, and 8 of those are in the audience to cheer them on during the karaoke and play trivia vicariously. We're going to do some fun stuff with the audience this time and have them involved with what we're doing. So come on out and join us. Talk to your not-for-profit leaders. We still have openings. We still have a few openings left.
Well, I do have a question. My niece came last time, and she thoroughly enjoyed it. She came with her best friend, and they weren't part of any non-for-profit. Actually, they were good friends with Marshmallow's Hope, but they didn't. I gave them the tickets. You had given me the tickets,
Right.
and I had given them the tickets. How is that going to work? Because she wants to come. I have no
So
problem
here's how
purchasing
this is going to
tickets
work this time.
for her.
Once we have all the teams set, we'll start telling you who has tickets, who has seats.
Okay.
So, for example, right now, I was telling you this on our pre-show setup here before we went live.
Pre-game warm-up, yeah.
A pre-game warm-up. As of right now, SOS, Shatter Our Silence, sponsored by Four Corners Wellness. They have a team, which means they have 8 audience seats to sell. If you want to come as a guest of SOS, contact them and ask them if you can purchase one of their audience seat tickets, or not tickets, but audience seats. Security Pro Intel is again supporting Shelter Care Ministries. So they have 8 seats available. Medicare 411, one of our major sponsors, they're sponsoring stuff, and they're also covering Mosaic and Rockford. They will also have 8 seats in the audience available to purchase. So contact Medicare 411. Iverson Painting, they're supporting Rock House Kids with their team. So they will have 8 seats. And DJ Liquors is supporting Nick's Wish. So if you want to support Nick's Wish, you'll want to buy those seats from DJ Liquors. There's some, how this is going to work this time is you really are going to be there to support a not-for-profit, and you'll need to contact them to get these seats. So,
okay, not a problem. And one more time, how much are those tickets? If I want to go purchase,
however much they want to sell them for.
Oh, I gotcha.
We're raising money. This is a fundraiser, friends. So we're raising money for these not-for-profits. The goal really too is there are multiple goals with this event. The greatest of which, in my mind, is collaboration. Pairing up Rockford area businesses that want to support Rockford area not-for-profits. That's what this podcast is all about. Rockford area not-for-profits and the businesses that support them. Then also creating events like this so that our not-for-profits, especially some of these smaller not-for-profits that have a real struggle creating events to fundraise with, here's an event they can plug into that they don't have to create at all. It's already made for them. And so they can plug into this event. They can promote it to their supporters and say, hey, we have 8 seats to sell at this event, and we want to sell them for $40 a piece, or $50 a piece, or $100 a piece, whatever they want to sell them for, to raise money for their not-for-profit, so that when they walk in the door April 17th for the event, they've already won. Even if they don't win the contest, they've already made money for their not-for-profit. That's the big goal of this whole thing, is to make sure that these not-for-profits can plug into an event that they don't have to create themselves. They can just plug and play, make it very, very simple and easy. Their only challenge is to sell their seats, and however much they want to sell them for is completely up to them.
Right.
All right. So looking forward to that. Again, big time thanks to our major sponsors for this event, Medicare 411, Iverson Painting, and Envoy Mortgage, Jess Riley from Envoy Mortgage, supporting us as well. So that's all coming up. If you want more information, follow us on our webpage for all things In Crowd 815. We have awesome, cool new merch. Our link to our podcast stuff and our events is all right at incrowd815.com. Special thanks to our partner, Fresh Prince of Loves Park. All right, let's do this. We are resetting our race to 10, and our big number of the week this week is 31,000 is the answer, money or Meta. And you sent me your guess, and I believe there it is.
I may have misspelled it. I'll let you know after the answer. Yeah,
have you ever used Zelle Pay?
No, I not.
ZELLE?
No.
So a lot of our banks, not all of them, but many of our banks are now using Zelle Pay to transfer money. You can transfer money with Zelle Pay to other accounts and maybe other banks that you have, or pay people for things. And Zelle payments in the year 2024 topped $1 trillion. $1 trillion of electronic payments through Zelle Pay, the most money ever moved by a person-to-person payment service in a single year. Zelle says it attributes its growth to the gradual ditching of cash and checks and small businesses adopting the payment system.
Yeah.
Little commentary on this. Zelle is nice when it's needed, but please use cash whenever you can. We need to keep cash alive. Cash is important, and cash doesn't lose its value as we spend it the way that digital currency does. Every time you use a digital payment, you're paying a service a little bit to do that, so that dollar loses its value every time you use it. So
Good point.
try to keep using cash. So yeah, let's give Tom a point.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm back,
Meta.
baby. I'm back. I had a bad
Meta is
run
the
there.
answer.
I'm back.
So Meta is spending about $10 billion, Tom.
So I did
on
spell it right. Okay, good.
Yeah. Have you heard about Project Waterworth?
No, I have not.
Project Waterworth, when finished, will be the world's longest subsea cable. The cable will be at times up to 7,000 meters undersea. This cable will connect North America, South America, Africa, Asia, and Australia, facilitating global digital development and Meta's efforts in the AI arena. All told, 31,000 miles of cable will be laid for this project.
That is so scary.
Uh,
Anytime you say AI, it's scary.
Well, it's really interesting because we live in this world now that is hooked up through Starlink. I mean, you don't need cable anymore, right? Everything can be wireless. However, the reliability of such is in question, right? If you're on a wireless connection, you have very little control over what happens when those Starlink satellites, shut down for any reason or crash or whatever else might happen with a satellite, right? Which is one of the reasons why, like the computer that I do this podcast on, I
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that I am actually hardwired to my router and not just relying on the Wi-Fi, because the Wi-Fi gets a little wonky, like it did with us this morning with Ruth. I mean, Ruth had a little
Right.
issue.
Yeah.
So anyway, all that to say, Meta's laying 31,000 miles of cable to wire up the world from North America to South America, Africa and Asia, and Australia. They're connecting all the continents. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. All right. Any final thoughts? Next week here on the show, we're going to be having a couple different guests. We're going to be visiting with Matt Walden. He's from DBN, Don't Be Next. And Whitney Martin, she's part of Made in Rockford and Go Rockford and the Rockford Area Visitors and Convention Bureau. Also one of our celebrity judges for our upcoming Mass Karaoke Trivia Contest. So Matt and Whitney on the show next week.
Whitney's such a nice girl.
She's
It's I don't know. She's such a sweetheart. I talked to her um at our event,
in
and I
October.
said,
Yeah.
Whitney, I'm a big fan. I miss you on TV. I said, every single day when I went to work, I took care of this quadriplegic I told you about, and it was always on. It was always Fox 39 was always on, and we would watch Whitney Martin David. I forgot his name. Anyway, Greenberg. I think it was Greenberg.
Yep.
And they were just so good, and of course Joey Marino. And it was a part of my morning thing. And I said, I really miss you. And she's like, oh, thank you so much. Just a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Sweetheart. So looking forward to talking to her next week. That's the first time I never met her. And
the conversational style of broadcast journalism has always been my favorite. I like it when they're not just reading a script, when they're actually talking with us, not at us, as viewers.
Right.
And that's how I tried to do my radio shows over the years, was try to be more conversational than just, script reading and talking at people. I think that's what made me fairly popular on the radio over the years. And hopefully what makes this podcast.
Well, you're very good at what you do. You are very good at what you do with facilitating and everything else. And so yeah, you're right. That style does work. I like that style. That's kind of like when I was DJing. I was Q98.5, 96.7 The Eagle, and then when I did my sports show on ROK, I kind of adopted that same thing. I don't like it when you And today, at the Midway Village and Museum Center, rather than, hey, you know what? I got a great place for you to check out today. Midway Village Museum Center from noon to 4. There is this thing called Civil War Days, blah, blah, blah. It's much, much, much more palatable, and people get more out of it. I agree with you 100%. I try to do that myself. Weather reports, today partly cloudy with 62 degrees and rain. Hey, you know what? Bring your umbrella. It's going to rain today. It might
Yeah,
be
yeah.
62 degrees, so put on a spring jacket. God, I wish it was 62 degrees.
Talk to me like I'm your friend and give me the heads up. That's all. That's all.
Gregors, I miss radio, man. I miss our Saturday mornings there. I love doing this. You know, because we have no boundaries, no parameters. We don't have to worry about, well, we're going to take a commercial break and we'll be right back. But I don't know. I miss it.
Let's see. Let's see if I can bring this up real quick. Which reminds me that I do want to give another shout out this week, and that's to Mosaic in Rockford. I want to thank them for the way that they've. Oh, it's not going to let me do that right now, is it?
Oh, you're getting dinged. That's that slap
there it
on
is.
the mouth.
Mosaic in Rockford and our good friend Linda Wenmacher has been an amazing supporter of this podcast and our show and all the stuff that we've done over the years. And we really, really appreciate what they have done and what they're doing here in the Rockford area. And I also want to give a shout out to our friends over at Life Decisions. Linda Cohen over there has also been just a huge supporter of what we're doing, sharing all the stuff that we're doing. The likes, the shares, the 5-star reviews, it all makes a difference. It really, really is helpful. So if we have a number 1 and number 2 fan, we have Linda and Lisa as out there that are really promoting what we do. And I really, really appreciate that their help in making us a better show and making Rockford a better place, because that's what we want to do. Keep supporting Rockford area not-for-profits and the businesses that support them. So, all right, buddy. I think that's it. Did you have any sports things that you really wanted to throw out this week that was top of mind? I'm looking forward to April already for the draft that's going to be in Green Bay.
The draft in Green Bay. One thing, I watched the USA Canada hockey game the other day. I almost threw my phone.
I didn't watch it. But
I watched it, and
all the
it was
fighting,
a fury. It was a fury in the first 3 minutes of overtime, 4 minutes of overtime. We were absolutely peppering Canada's goalie for 3 minutes solid. It was a great job of goaling by Canada. And then they get it back down the other end, and he shoots, he scores. And I'm like, you talk about.
It was all part of the plan, Tom. They lulled our goalie to sleep. Our goalie was lulled to sleep.
They did. It was like one of those Christmas Santas in the front lawn, the middle of January. Anyway, I was so mad because I'm not a huge fan of Canada, and and you know what? I don't like Justin Trudeau, but I'm not, because Canadians look down on us like we're some sort of moron.
Well, they are up there.
They're up there. Their nose is way up in the air. And I don't hate Canada and I don't hate Canadians, but just that attitude that some have that, well, hey, it just, I don't know. I can't explain it.
Canadians are the best comedians. I don't know why it is, but Canadians are the best comedians. They're so funny.
They are. Jim Carrey's a Canadian.
He is.
Yeah.
Thanks again to Ruth. Thanks to Ruth Ora Jackson from Inscape Collective for joining us today, telling us all about Inscape Collective and the great stuff that they have going on downtown there, 201 7th Street in Rockford. Again, they're open today from 11 to 5, normally 11 to 4, but today 11 to 5. And then they've got their event tonight as well. And that should be a good time. So remember, friends, you change the world when you help one person. So be a blessing to someone this week. We'll try to do the same and meet you back here next week for another In Crowd 815 podcast. Tom, have a great weekend, buddy.
I will. You too, buddy. We'll see you later.
815 in crowd. 815 in crowd.